The Republican National Convention is kicking off today, and it's a different convention than it was going to be just 3 days ago. The attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump will change the trajectory of the RNC this week. Conversations will be different, and security strategies could be different as well.
Joining us now from Milwaukee to discuss is GOP strategist Whitley Yates. Thanks for coming on, Whitney.
Thank you for having me.
Now, let's get into it. Obviously, there's a shadow cast over this convention as everyone comes to meet in Milwaukee from the attempted assassination of Trump. Just tell us, Whitley, what's the general mood there?
You know, I wouldn't even say it's a shadow. There is definitely an energy here, an energy of resilience, an energy of perseverance. People are excited. They cannot wait to hear from former President Trump, specifically after the attempted assassination. Now, I'm not going to pretend like there haven't been increased security measures, like the Secret Service are checking vehicles. It is causing backed up traffic all through the streets of Milwaukee, and even some sidewalks that you're walking through, you have to go through Secret Service and police.
Yes, an incredible several days for Donald Trump surviving an assassination. We've heard that he has reworked his speech, his planned remarks. Beyond just the energy, is there a perception among people there? I think this campaign is in a very different place than it was just a few weeks ago, where frankly, Donald Trump's likelihood of winning in November has never seemed higher to me than it does right now. Is that something that people at the convention are processing that, and does it inform the strategy Trump is going to deploy from now on? Someone now almost moving on to the job of reassuring Americans on the other side of the political spectrum that he's their president as well, focusing on unity, that sort of thing.
Absolutely. I would say a lot of the delegates I've talked to, I've spoken to some from California as well as Texas, some even from Alaska, are all really just talking about his resilience and how, through these terrible circumstances, he was able to come out on top and still be able to instill in people, in those who were at the rally and the American people that were watching, that he is the person for the job. And the way that he was able to triumph over the transgression of that situation has not been lost on the supporters here at the RNC. And I would say that it has created a new level of momentum in not only supporting him, but getting him across that finish line in November.
Now, what are you expecting to be different given what happened there on Saturday in Pennsylvania? A lot of folks are expecting a vice presidential pick coming out of Donald Trump. We've seen J.D. Vance really in lockstep. Do you see any major events at the RNC changing because of what happened?
I don't see any major events changing. I do see potentially some of the speakers changing. And honestly, the tone of the convention, I think, is going to be different. I think before it was going to be a tone of really just rallying people behind him and getting people excited for him to be the nominee. And it was going to be the message was going to be to the people that were going to be in the audience, right? The delegates. But I think this message that we're going to hear from him and all the other speakers is going to be a message for America. It's for those watching who are undecided. It's for those who are looking at this campaign to see if this is someone that they can be in alignment with. And so I think it's going to broaden his message because he needs to reach more people. And I think the people here, he already has in the bank.
So we are awaiting it could be any minute now, it could be later today, but it is expected to be today, the announcement of Trump's vice presidential pick. There's been a lot of chatter lately that it might be Senator J.D. Vance. I believe Marco Rubio, Doug Burgum, and potentially a few others are still in the mix, but those are the three names I've heard most often now. I'm seeing it reported that a motorcade has showed up to J.D. Vance's house, and at the same time that Trump, I think, just told Bret Baier that maybe the pick's going to surprise us. I don't know what that means. Do you have any insights into the VP race speculation stuff going on? Did have you seen, did J.D. Vance just get out of a car and run up to the stage or something like that?
He did not do that. As I stated before on The Rising, I do think it may surprise us, but I'm going to be honest. My sources are saying that JD Vance does look like the presumptive VP pick. Now, I don't know how secure those sources are, but he is looking really good right now, considering all of the chatter that's been happening. But I would not be surprised once again to receive any type of curveball from left field, specifically in dealing with President Trump and the way in which he likes to surprise not only just his supporters, but also those that disagree with him as well.
It seems that following the debates with Biden, we've seen the Trump campaign sort of have this snowball effect of so many positive news events coming his way. Although the assassination event was horrific, a lot of people saw that photo. They saw this as a moment of strength for Trump's campaign, many people calling him a hero coming out of that. And today, we've seen now that Judge Eileen has dismissed this case against Donald Trump because of Jack Smith's unconstitutional, potentially, appointment there. What has the response and vibe been around that breaking news coming out this morning?
I spoke to a few delegates this morning and I asked about how they were feeling considering that the documents case has been thrown out, and a lot of them are so excited. The legal issues that were looming over former President Trump was really just a rain cloud over not only his election, but a lot of the delegates and a lot of his supporters. So to see that rain cloud be removed and to be able to maneuver and move on and focus on policies and positions that are going to best suit Americans is what they're looking forward to.
Incredible. Whitley Yates, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.